beautiful looking and fat, and they fed amongst the reeds. Then saw Shavan other cows coming up after them, poor and very ugly and lean of flesh, such ugliness as I have never seen in all the land of Mitzrayim, or Egypt for you dummies. And the lean of flesh and ugly cows ate up the first Shavan, the fat cows. Yet when they had eaten them up, no one would have known if they had eaten them, for they were as ugly as at the beginning. Then I awoke. Also I looked in my dream and saw 7 heads coming up on one stalk, complete and good. Then saw Shavan heads, withered, lean, scorched by the east wind, coming up after them. And the lean head swallowed the 7 good heads. And I spoke to the magicians, but there was no one who could explain it to me. And Yosef said to Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. Elohim has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. The Shavan good cows are Shavan years, and the Shavan good heads are Shavan years. It is one dream. And the Shavan lean and ugly cows, which came up after them, are Shavan years, and the Shavan empty heads scorched by the east wind are Shavan years of scarcity of food. 28. This is the word which I spoke to Pharaoh. Elohim has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. See, Shavan years of great plenty are coming in all the land of Mitzrayim. See, Shavan years of great plenty are coming in all the land of Mitzrayim. Well, after them, Shavan years of scarcity of food shall arise, and all the plenty be forgotten in the land of Mitzrayim, and the scarcity of food shall destroy the land, and the plenty shall not be remembered in the land because of the scarcity of food following, for it is very severe. And the dream was repeated to Pharaoh twice, because the word is established by Elohim, and Elohim is hastening to do it. And now let Pharaoh look for a discerning and wise man, and set him over the land of Mitzrayim. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint overseers over the land, to take up 1/5 of the land of Mitzrayim in the 7 years of plenty. 35. And let them gather all the food of those good years that are coming, and store up grain under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And the food shall be for a store for the land, for the Shavan years of scarcity of food, which shall be in the land of Mitzrayim. And do not let the land be cut off by the scarcity of food, which will eventually come to this country, folks. And the word was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said to his servants, could we find another like him, a man in whom is the spirit of Elohim? Then Pharaoh said to Yosef, since Elohim has shown you all this, there is no one as discerning and wise as you. Be over my house, you yourself, and at your mouth all my people shall kiss. Only in the throne I am greater than you. And Pharaoh said to Yosef, see, I have set you over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh took his seal ring off his hand and put it on Yosef's hand, and he dressed him in garments of fine linen, and put a gold chain around his neck. And he had him ride in the second chariot which he had, and they cried out before him, bow the knee! And he set him over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh said to Yosef, I am Pharaoh, and without a word from you let no man lift his hand or foot in all the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath Paneah. Zaphnath Paneach. And he gave him as a wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Mitzrayim. Now Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And in the 7 years of plenty, the ground brought forth generously, and he gathered all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Mitzrayim, and laid up the food in the cities. He laid up in every city the food of the fields which surrounded them. Thus Joseph gathered very much grain, as the sand of the sea, until he ceased counting, for it was without number. Wise, huh, folks? And to Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of scarcity of food came, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bore to him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Menashe, for Elohim has made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. So that must be what Menashe means, to forget, or something like that. And the name of the second he called Ephraim, for Elohim has caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. So Ephraim must mean fruitful or something like that. And the 7 years of plenty which were in the land of Mitzrayim came to an end. And the 7 years of scarcity of food began to come, as Joseph had said, and the scarcity of food was in all lands, but in all the land of Mitzrayim there was bread. But when all the land of Mitzrayim hungered, and the people cried to Pharaoh for bread, Pharaoh said to all the Mitzrites, "Go to Joseph, do whatever he says to you." And the scarcity of food was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold to the Mitzrites, and the scarcity of food was severe in the land of Mitzrayim. And all the earth came to Joseph in Mitzrayim to buy grain, because the scarcity of food was severe in all the earth. 42. And when Yaakov saw that there was grain in Mitzrayim, Yaakov said to his sons, "Why do you look at each other?" And he said, "See, I have heard that there is grain in Mitzrayim. Go down to that place and buy for us there, and let us live and not die." And Joseph's 10 brothers went down to buy grain in Mitzrayim. But Yaakov did not send Joseph's brother Benjamin with his brothers, for he said, lest some harm come to him. And the sons of Israel went to buy grain among those who journeyed, for the scarcity of food was in the land of Canaan, or Canaan, for you dummies. And Yosef was a governor over the land. He was the one who sold to all the people of the land, and Joseph's brothers came and bowed down before him with their faces to the earth. Shavang. And Yosef saw his brothers and recognized them, but he acted as a stranger to them and spoke to them harshly and said to them, "Where do you come from?" And they said, "From the land of Canaan to buy food." So Yosef recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. And Yosef remembered the dreams which he had dreamed about them, and said to them, "You are spies, you have come to see the nakedness of the land." And they said to him, "No, my master, but your servants have come to buy food. We are all one man's sons. We are trustworthy. Your servants are not spies." But he said to them, "No, but you have come to see the nakedness of the land." And they said, "Your servants are 12 brothers, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And see, the youngest is with our father today, and one is no more." Of course, talking about Joseph there. And Joseph said to them, "It is as I spoke to you, saying, you are spies. By this you shall be proven. By the life of Pharaoh, you do not leave this place unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of you, and let him bring your brother while you are kept in prison. So let your words be proven to see whether there is any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh you are spies." And he put them all together in prison for 3 days. Now Yosef said to them the third day, "Do this and live, for I fear Elohim. If you are trustworthy, let one of your brothers be confined to your prison house." And you go bring again, and you go bring grain for the scarcity of food of your houses, and bring your youngest brother to me, and let your words be confirmed, and you do not die. And so they did. 21. And they said to each other, "Truly we are guilty concerning our brother, for we saw the distress of his life when he pleaded with us, yet we did not listen. That is why this distress has come upon us." And Reuben answered them, saying, "Did I not speak to you, saying, do not sin against the boy, and you would not listen? And see, his blood is now required of us." And they did not know that Yosef understood them, for he spoke to them through an interpreter. And he turned himself away from them and wept, but came back to them and spoke to them. And he took Shimon from them and bound him before their eyes. And Yosef commanded it, and they filled their sacks with grain, also to put back every man's silver to his sack, and to give them food for the journey. And thus it was done for them. So they loaded their donkeys with the grain and went from there. And as one of them opened his sack to give his donkey fodder at the lodging place, he saw his silver, for there it was in the mouth of his sack. And he said to his brothers, "My silver has been returned, and there it is in my sack." And their hearts sank, and they were afraid, saying to each other, "What is this that Elohim has done to us?" So they came to Yaakov, their father, in the land of Canaan, and reported to him all that befell them, saying, "The man, the master of the land, spoke to us harshly, and took us for spies of the land. But we said to him, we are trustworthy, we are not spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of our father. One is no more, and the youngest is today with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the master of the land, said to us, by this I know that you are trustworthy. Leave one of your brothers here with me, and take food for the scarcity of food of your households, and go, and bring your youngest brother to me. Then I know that you are not spies, but that you are trustworthy. I give your brother to you, and you move about in the land. 35. And it came to be, as they emptied their sacks, that looked the bundle of each man's silver was in his sack. And when they and their father saw the bundles of silver, they were afraid. So it sounds like Joseph is still screwing with them now by doing that. And Yaakov, their father, said to them, you have bereaved me. Joseph is no more, and Shimon is no more, and you would take Benjamin. All this is against me. So Reuben spoke to his father, saying, take the lives of my 2 sons if I do not bring him back to you. Put him in my hands, and I myself bring him back to you. Talking about Benjamin there, I believe. But he said, my son is not going down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. He's talking about Joseph there, who's actually not dead, but he thinks he is. If any harm should come to him along the way in which you go, then you would bring down my gray hair with sorrow to Sheol, or another name for hell. But the scarcity of food was severe in the land, and it came to be, when they had eaten up the grain which they had brought from Mitzrayim, that their father said to them, go back, buy us a little food. But Yehudah spoke to him, saying, the man vehemently warned us, saying, you do not see my face unless your brother is with you. If you let our brother go with us, we go down and buy you food. But if you do not let him go, we do not go down, because the man said to us, you do not see my face unless your brother is with you. And Yisrael said, why did you do evil to me to inform the man that you still had another brother? And Shavan, and they said, the man kept asking, about us and our relatives, saying, is your father still alive? Have you another brother? And we informed him according to these words. How could we know that he would say, bring your brother down? And Yehudah said to Yisrael, his father, send the boy with me, and let us arise and go, and live and not die, both we and you, and also our little ones. I myself shall stand guarantee for him. From my hand you are to require him. If I do not bring him back to you and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. For if we had not delayed, truly by now we could have returned this second time. And their father Yisrael said to them, if so, then do this. Take some of the best fruit of the land in your vessels, and bring a present down for the man, a little balm and a little honey, spices and myrrh, nuts and almonds. And take double silver in your hand, and take back in your hand the silver that was returned in the mouth of your sacks. It could have been a mistake. And take your brother, and arise, go back to the man. 14. And El Shaddai give to you compassion before the man, so that he shall release your brother and Benjamin. And I, if I am bereaved, I am bereaved. And the man took that present and Benjamin, and they took double the amount of silver in their hand, and arose and went down to Mitzrayim and stood before Yosef. And Yosef saw Benjamin with them, and said to the one over his house, Bring the man home, and make a great slaughter, and prepare, for these men are to eat with me at noon. And the man did as Joseph said, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. And the men were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house, and they said, It is because of the silver which was put back into our sacks the first time that we are brought in to throw himself upon us and fall upon us to take us as slaves. Our donkeys too. Excuse me. So they came near to the man over the house of Yosef, and spoke to him at the door of the house, and said, O my master, we indeed came down the first time to buy food. 21. But it came to be, when we came to the lodging place, that we opened our sacks, and saw each man's silver in the mouth of his sack, our silver in its weight, and we have brought it back in our hand. And we have brought down another silver in our hands to buy food. We do not know who put our silver in our sacks. But he said, Shalom be with you. Do not be afraid. Your Elohim and the Elohim of your father has given you treasure in your sacks. Your silver had come to me. And he brought Shimon out to them. And the man brought the men into Joseph's house, and gave them water, and they washed their feet. And he gave their donkey his father, which means food. And they made the present ready for Joseph's coming at noon, for they heard that they were to eat there. And when Yosef came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed down before him to the earth. And he asked them about their welfare, and said, Is your father well, the old man of whom you spoke? Is he still alive? 28. And they said, Your servant, our father, is in good health. He is still alive. And they bowed their heads down and did obeisance. And he lifted his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, Is this your younger brother of whom you spoke to me? And he said, Elohim show favor to you, my son. And Yosef hurried, for his emotions were deeply moved towards his brother. And he looked for a place to weep, and went into his room and wept there. Then he washed his face and came out, and controlled himself, and said, Serve the food. And they set him a place by himself. And them by themselves. And the Mitzrites who ate with him by themselves. For the Mitzrites could not eat food with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination to the Mitzrites, or Egyptians, for you dummies. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked at each other in astonishment, and he took portions to them from before him. But Benjamin's portion was 5 times as much as any of theirs, and they feasted and they drank with him. "44. And he commanded the one over his house, saying, Fill the men's sacks with food as they are able to bear, and put each man's silver in the mouth of his sack, and put my cup, the silver cup, in the mouth of the sack of the youngest, which is Benjamin, and the silver for his grain. And he did according to the word of Yosef, which he spoke. As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, they and their donkeys. And when they had gone out of the city, not having gone far, Yosef said to the one over his house, Rise up, follow the men, and when you overtake them, say to them, Why have you repaid evil for good? Is this not the one from which my master drinks, and with which he indeed divines? You have done evil in what you have done." So, yep, he's still screwing with them, sounds like. "So he overtook them and spoke these words to them, Shavan, and they said to him, Why does my master say these words? Far be it from us that your servants should do according to this word. See, we brought back to you from the land of Canaan the silver which we found in the mouth of our sacks. How then shall we steal silver or gold from your master's house? With whomever of your servants it is found, he shall die, and we shall become my master's slaves as well." And he said, "Now also let it be according to your words. He with whom it is found becomes my slave, and you are innocent." And they hurried, each man let down his sack to the ground, and each opened his sack. And he searched with the oldest first, and with the youngest last, and the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. And they tore their garments, and each man loaded his donkey, and went back to the city. 14. And Yehudah and his brothers came to Joseph's house, and he was still there. And they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said to them, "What deed is this you have done? Did you not know that a man like me indeed divines?" And Yehudah said, "What do we say to my master? What do we speak? Or how do we clear ourselves? Elohim has found out the crookedness of your servants. See, we are my master's slaves, both we and he also with whom the cup was found." But he said, and this is Joseph speaking here, "Far be it from me to do this. The man whose hand the cup was found, he becomes my slave, and you go up in shalom to your father." Alright, so, well, those of you who know this story, know the rough, know how it ends up, how Joseph, doesn't actually make him a slave. But anyway, Shabbat Shalom, Kudoshim, and other folks. I hope that you got something out of this. or at least enjoyed it.